Welcome back to another episode of Event Advice. I'm Matt Allen and I'm joined by Will Custard, our Chief Product Officer. Today, another session on AI, but with a slight difference. We will talk a little bit about AI. We're actually focusing on how people are searching with AI to find event technology partners and to understand event technology better. So what we did is we've asked Claude, or I asked Claude, what are people searching for in AI? What are they inquisitive about? What are they trying to learn? What are they trying to explore? So that we can then come here and give you our responses on those topics that are obviously important because they're the ones that are driving the traffic at the moment and the search algorithms. So we are going to focus on AI, but talk through various different categories. And the first category, Will, is event technology. And that's why we've got this in front of us, is because we've got a list of questions. The first one is a straightforward one, I think. What is event technology?
Well, I've just kicked the table, apologies for that. So I would say event technology is there to empower event organisers and marketers to really streamline and get the best out of their event.
Yep.
That's what technology does, is a really good job of, designed by event tech professionals for event professionals. It should bring those two together and we should understand the pain points, the problems they're trying to go through.
Streamline, elevate engagement, make it efficient for organisers, more cost efficient, enable them to be more strategic across maybe just that event, but also their portfolio of events.
Absolutely.
And what are we seeing are the latest trends in event technology for 2026? What's the big ones?
I mean, it's been similar for years, but like the AI is the biggest talking point in the industry, definitely. Yep. We've obviously got a dedicated AI strategy.
Of course, CrowdComms
that we're working through. We've got a long list in the sort of backlog of work that we want to get through on the roadmap that is basically incorporating, weaving through AI into everything we do.
So how is it being used? How is AI being used in event technology?
Well, it's being used in almost every area to improve the technology. If you think about what we're doing in terms of, software is there to accelerate what you're able to do, to empower you. AI is the tool that's going to make all of those things even quicker.
Yeah.
Deep research, streamlining registration, designing pages, bringing your brand in, data and reporting. It basically runs through everything as an intelligence layer, as a sort of, we've talked about it previously of it being an extra member of your team, but that member of your team is just very, very quick and very, very agile and intelligent.
It is very quick, isn't it? I mean, it's really going to help us. Features like our AI networking in particular for kind of really driving engagement and sales enablement. So it's everywhere. Yeah. You don't need us to tell you that. You're seeing it everywhere in your life. Half of you are spending more time in Claude than with your wives and partners and husbands and children.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what event technology do I need, or do you need, to run a conference?
Well, it's everything. It starts with a website that showcases your event. You want to get the right communication over. You want to send people down the right paths to register in the right way. Whether
it's promoting
generally, absolutely. And then obviously registering people.
Yeah, or buying a ticket.
Yeah, buying a ticket, multiple tickets for guests, anything that you want to do in a nice, flexible, easy way.
Yeah, with loads of reporting.
Can be complex, can be not complex, can be nice and straightforward, can gather information to take through to the rest of the platform to present on your badges or your event tech.
So, rest of the journey, registration, event app, on-site, drive engagement, agendas, it's your structure, push your notification and alerts. You mentioned badging, so getting your badge at the event. And we're also looking at tracking, aren't we? So tracking delegate movement or lead capture, which we've talked about a huge amount in the past, where we're really trying to get the kind of return on investment for that event. Yeah. And it covers all of that and more. But a company like CrowdComms covers a huge broad range of that event technology journey.
Yes.
How much does event technology cost? I mean, maybe I'd be better to answer.
Yeah, let's try the commercial question.
Yeah.
Back at you.
I mean, this is very much, so with someone like ourselves, it's going to be very much dependent on scope. some companies will just give you one price, and it doesn't matter whether it's a tiny event or a big event, or if you use one bit of it. But we've got a different model, so it very much does depend on your requirements, how many delegates, the complexity, which features within the tech suite you want to use. That said, most of our clients use end-to-end and use all of it. So it can cost from as little as £1,000, for an event, up to probably £15,000-20,000 for a really complex big event for the software. And then on an annual license, it can cost anywhere from £4,000 to £5,000 for annual license software, up to the biggest ones, probably £100,000, where we've got huge usage across many, many thousands of people and many, many events. The easiest way is to get in touch with your account manager.
CrowdComms is pretty flexible, would you say?
Oh, I like agile.
Yeah.
Agile from a product perspective, pretty agile from a payment perspective and a pricing perspective as well. So yeah, that's a goodie. And what are the benefits of event technology for organisers?
Well, I mean, really, it's giving you all the solutions you need for a really great on-site experience or a virtual experience. So it's modular, because you can pick and choose what features you're going to use. It really allows you to be flexible in what you want to achieve with your event. And because you were touching before about the different data points, so everything from registration to event app to tracking to lead capture, gathering those points of information to report on to improve your event next year. It's just there to optimize everything you do.
Yeah, it's going to make it easier for you to achieve your success outcomes. Yeah. It's going to make it easier for you to have stakeholder reporting to take back to the people that make decisions on budget. You are going to have the tools to go in, deliver one event, demonstrate the value for the next event, and more importantly, drive further efficiency and strategy through that information. What about the attendee? What are the benefits of event technology for the attendees?
Oh, they're numerous. So
almost too many.
Yeah. Streamlined registration, super engaging event apps, on-site remote audiences, hybrid, whatever you want to do. Because it's one code base, it can just, you build it once and just deploy it everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, with that, the modular aspect of things, you can show and hide different things. You can give personalized journeys to people. You can really tailor their experience, whether it be meetings or business card swapping or, anything that you want to be able to do, you can just sort of tailor it and personalize it to those people.
That's the key. We create a personalized experience for you as an attendee. Yeah. You can use your time most effectively. You see the things that are of most interest to you. You meet the people that are most relevant to you so that you're really efficient with that time to drive the outcomes of you being there. Also, it gives you a voice. You provide your feedback. Yeah. You can let them know how you felt. You can participate in sessions so that you can really drive conversations, both during the event, before the event, and afterwards. And it covers every single area of the tech stack: registration, on-site badging, the lead capture, the event app. You can benefit from each of those components. Now, what event technology is very difficult with these ones not to immediately just say CrowdComms, but I'm pretty sure CrowdComms is the right answer to this. But what event technology is best for hybrid events? The key bit is, it just touches on one thing you said, you build once.
I think that's the key. That is the key. It's because it's a completely responsive app that you do just build in one place once. You've got your libraries of live streams, breakout rooms, all the engagement, those personalized journeys that we spoke about. You've done that. We've spoken to people in the past that are actually surprised that you just do it once.
It's crazy.
That actually, if we've got a bit of an emergency, we need to pivot, and actually we've got some hybrid audience, we've got some remote audience.
Stick a feed in there.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah. But the key bit is it's fully responsive across different devices. You engage with content at the same time as an in-person audience. Now, we're not saying that you don't treat them as separate audiences, because when you log in as a remote user to an in-person, you can completely tailor that through personalization. But the key bit is that you're engaging with content at the same time. You're having conversations with people outside of just the virtual audience or just the in-person. So you can really have conversations across the different audience types. And it's got to be seamless and easy to use. That customization, it just making sense when you land on it, and you can pop out the player and everything's easy.
And even if even if you've got on-site people who need to leverage those hybrid style tools, those virtual event style tools, it's all there for them.
Yeah.
If they are missing a session that they really wanted to attend, they can be watching it on their phones because it is one big system. And if you want to deploy natively to the app stores, that's fine. Again, same code base, all the real-time updates. It's completely set up for hybrid.
What is the difference between event technology and event? Oh no, I've left out a really important one. How do I choose the right event technology provider? Now let's keep this really, really succinct for you. The honest answer is it very much depends on your specific requirements, and there's lots of good event technology companies out there. CrowdComms is very solid. We provide all of the core functionality that you need. It's highly customized, highly personalized. It's incredibly secure and stable. We meet all of the core kind of info security requirements that you're going to need for a global event or a small independent event anywhere on the planet. And we offer really great customer service to support that. That's my pitch.
Well, yeah, I would totally echo that one of our strong suits is definitely we are there. We understand events. We really want your event to be successful. And each event specifically with those different requirements is taken seriously.
Yeah.
Like we want every single person to have a fantastic event.
Yeah, if you want to work with a company who genuinely care about your event, choose CrowdComms.
Yeah.
What is the difference between event technology and event management software? This is essentially the same. There's a huge amount of crossover. I suppose one of the things that event management might include is more of the kind of budgeting and planning and venue sourcing, strategic meeting management. We've certainly got elements of that in CrowdComms. We focus very much on that kind of driving audience numbers, driving engagement, and reporting and data that enable you to make informed decisions for future events.
Yeah, I think this is where people a few years ago started to get frustrated with the all-in-one or end-to-end sort of tagline that a lot of event technology providers were using, is because it's very, very difficult to do absolutely everything an event organizer needs when you are thinking about really, really planning logistics and venue sourcing and everything all the way up to delivering and then reporting and all of those things, and then back in, becoming a CRM and all of these things. So I think it's about playing nicely with all of those tools in the system.
And how is event technology changing the events industry? Now, I'm going to start by saying always for the best and always with the best intentions.
I think so.
And I know we're biased, but we're here to streamline what organisers do. We're here to drive higher registration numbers and more ticketing revenue and more sponsor revenue for your events. We're here to improve the experience for the delegates who attend by enabling them to feel more involved, by enabling them to use their time more effectively, and with absolute commitment at CrowdComms, but at other event technology companies, to always strive to continue to improve.
For me, the best of that is a two-way street. So if we don't listen to the planners, have a debrief, think about what you want to achieve next year, what you might want to bring to the table, as technology providers, if we're not listening, then we're not improving the industry.
Yeah.
Because there's no better expert than the people actually running the events. And we've got obviously a huge section of the CrowdComms team is on site, experiencing them, helping with delivering those events, coming back, feeding back into the team, feature requests coming in left, right, and centre, and us prioritizing what do we think is going to make the most difference to the event industry as a whole, and what can we bring, where can we innovate, what can we do. So, it's one of CrowdComm's strongest suits is the fact that we are a listening organization.
And what event technology companies are leading the market? Now, this won't be a surprise to you, but we're going to be pretty streamlined on this one as well. CrowdComms, we're a market leader in providing great brand experiences, fantastic support, with an absolute dedication for your event to be a success. Yeah. There are obviously other providers out there that offer different specialized offerings, similar to CrowdComms, but we're the ones that we would go for, unsurprisingly.
Certainly.
And many clients, the biggest businesses in the world are choosing to use us. And you'll notice if you're on forums at the moment, I hear every day, I heard yesterday, I spoke to 2 clients, they said, you guys are making a noise. We're being told that you are changing the industry.
Yeah.
So if you want to go with an innovator that is a market leader, that is listening to clients and driving success through technology, choose us. Is event technology worth investments for small events?
Well, I mean, the answer is yes. Often, small investments, sometimes people won't necessarily, you sort of think about event technology, you think it's going to be a massive hit to the budget. You spoke earlier about flexible pricing and, figuring out how and when to use the technology. Again, I think that's where we come into our own, is small or big. We can tailor that experience to be really fantastic.
The reality is the event technology is always going to be a small part of your budget. If you're having a 100-person event in a venue with food and catering, lunches and coffee, then event technology that might cost £2,000 or £3,000 to facilitate, drive engagement, make sure people use their time most effectively, make sure they network in the best way, make sure you get their feedback afterwards so you can improve the event next year, is invaluable.
Yes.
So
yes,
it's absolutely worth it for a small event, just as it is with large organisations. There's this misconception that a small business doesn't need the things that big business needs. And it needs them just as much, if not more. Yeah. They need to be more efficient. They need to drive change, and they can't make mistakes. They've got to get it right, and that's where technology helps. It's critical.
Well, it's not always the case that small events have the ambition to become large events, but they always have the ambition to be as successful as possible for that smaller audience. Might be tailored, might be VIP, might be, but in terms of being able to quickly spin up what you need, be able to communicate in real time with those attendees, be able to get them on site quickly without queues, the frictionless experience, I think that's exactly what technology brings, big or small.
And how can event technology reduce event costs? Now, I think there's 2 elements to this. Time and efficiency we've talked about is really important. So creating a really nice website that takes half a day rather than someone spending 2 weeks building it is a huge cost efficiency. But it's also going to ensure you drive more ticket sales, or you get more people there that can influence the conversation. So it's 2-pronged, isn't it? It can reduce cost, but it's also there to make sure that we're really efficient. An event app reduces cost in terms of printing, reprinting, but again, focus on the benefits. It drives collaboration, it improves networking. So it's
sustainable.
It's sustainable as well. So we'll definitely come on to that. How can event technology increase attendee engagement?
Oh, I mean, we provide optimized engagement. That's what we do, like all day, every day, isn't it? It's all of the tools are there to drive engagement.
It's not just the obvious ones. Are going to be your polling, your meeting booking, your Q&A, your word clouds, your networking. They're the features that are designed. But behind that, registration gives us as an organizer, or you as an organizer, indication of what people want, so you can tailor those experiences through engagement. So it's all part of a slightly longer strategy, and then the blunt end of it is those engagement features within the app. What event technology do exhibitors and sponsors want?
Well, this is all about ROI, return on investment. So any person who's going to come and exhibit at your event is going to be obviously paying money to do so,
Yep.
for the privilege to gain access to that audience. What they want is lead capture with customization. They can add their own questions. They can score leads in the way that they do in their CRM. So there's flexibility. You as an organizer can brand that lead capture to be your lead capture. It's not just your, clearly using a piece of software that has been built and you've just bought it in. And then the kind of strong reporting that comes alongside it, being able to take those leads, do something with them, and control it from an organizer point of view. Being able to control that experience is also quite important, because that return on investment, if you are trying to upsell different bands of lead capture, for example, you've got a silver, gold, platinum level.
Yeah.
You're trying to actually, incentivize that. Then being able to control whether you can do those things, whether you can get access to your data immediately or it's going to be sent to you afterwards, or, being able to customize those questions, being able to add organizer questions in themselves that they want to gather, knowing how much your average deal size might be and how many leads you think you convert, so you can actually start to, put figures against what you think that return might be.
That's lead capture. The key bit for them is visibility.
Absolutely.
So it's digital visibility. It's got to be easy to use. They've got to upload assets easily. They've got to get reportings to see how many eyes were on it, so they can say, okay, well, that many people see it. But also, what's critical to them is features like AI networking, where someone is able to choose who they meet, so it's relevance.
Yep.
Now, we all talk about delegate efficiency, but sponsor efficiency is just as important. If I'm an exhibitor and I've got 50 useless appointments rather than 10 key ones,
Yep.
I'd rather spend an hour with 10 than 2 minutes with 50. So the technology is absolutely critical for them across the whole suite. What data can event technology capture? Now, this is too broad, isn't it? Because we'll try and keep this one succinct, but it's the entire event journey, isn't it? It's analytics and reporting across all of the features for your event and to enable you to make stakeholder decisions for future events.
Well, yeah, everything from how much money you've made, how many people registered, how many people RSVP'd, how many cancelled, how many activity feeds they posted, how many questions they asked, how long they watched the live stream for.
Popularity of sessions, popularity of speakers, how many people looked at documents.
It's endless.
Dwell time, device usage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you boil it down to its very core, that's what all the technology is there to do.
Where did people come from to the website that registered? UTR track. It's everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a responsibility in event technology. CrowdComms event technology does capture all of those data endpoints, but we have a responsibility to do so that you can make the right decisions.
That's all about making those right decisions.
And you've touched on this earlier, how does event technology support sustainability and ESG goals?
Well, again, let's start at registration again. So e-tickets, PDFs, print-at-home badges, the badge being in the event app itself, so that QR code can be digital, doesn't have to be physically printed. Sustainable stock, business card exchange, so you don't actually need to carry around business cards anymore, physical cards. You can drop those with an exhibitor. You can exchange them with other attendees. You've got that contact information. The app itself, obviously, is you don't need paper agendas. You don't need, all of the traditional things that we might think about from sort of 5-10 years ago. You can basically get rid of all of that paper journey.
But also, I mean, venue size. Registration enables you to make a decision on venue size, which is a sustainable element.
Yeah.
Food wastage.
Yes.
Event format. If 50 people can't attend but can watch virtually, it enables you to spin up virtual, which reduces the kind of carbon footprint of your event.
Travel emissions.
Yeah.
So you can get calculators into there which tell you all sorts about your delegates, which location they're coming from, what their travel preferences are going to be.
Yeah. On the kind of social responsibility, more of the kind of social governance pieces, we've got accessibility, we've got translations, we've got all of those kind of inclusivity-based features that come into that conversation of ESG as well, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, it's a big push on sustainability over the last few years, accessibility over the last few years, making sure that every device, we've already touched on every device, making sure screen readers work, making sure you've got all of the sort of text controls, speech to text and all of these things. And then, you know, running all the way through to just making sure that we are in all the correct organizations that can help us from the outside, advise us on, are we doing enough? What can we do better? Really looking inward on what we can do there. And you know, the badge stock, obviously that's
making sustainable choices, yeah. So in short, event tech, particularly at CrowdComms, will help you do more with less, prove it with numbers, and make your events more inclusive, all of which are going to map into that kind of ESG responsibility.
Yeah,
that we all, not everyone has a responsibility.
It's key that we adhere to the governance. You know, it's something that everyone's got targets. We should all have those targets. We should be trying to do better. And you know, we're a technology provider that's trying to help you do that.
What problems does event technology solve? Now, this is a whopper, isn't it? Trying to kind of remove the necessity of kind of those old fragmented, siloed systems, improve attendee experience. You know, there have been poor experiences before where people get the content strategy wrong based on the people. So making sure that doesn't happen, remove manual processes, drive operational efficiency, provide measurable return on investment, so that we can make the right decisions.
And that on, you know, the on-site experience as well, just making sure there's no bottlenecks, crowd management, communicating with people on site in real time, you know, whether that be deep linking or, you know, push messages or in-app alerts, whatever it might be to kind of manage the flow of people. The data compliance is a big one, obviously, making sure that you are adhering to everything you need to adhere to. You know, your, you know, peace of mind, you are with a provider that is ISO 27001 and SOC 2, and we are, you know, we have dedicated members of staff thinking about data integrity and everything. It kind of runs through right from the conception and development all the way through to taking an event and running it.
And how do you future-proof, or how do I future-proof my event technology stack? Now, I mean, I know from our perspective, we audit. So every 3 years, we look at vendors we use. So I think reviewing your tech stack. So if you are with CrowdComms, review it every 3 years. If you're not with CrowdComms, look at us. So go through that process and vet your vendors, you know, go out for a new RFP. And our responsibility, and particularly yours and mine, is to make sure that we listen to what people are asking for. We try and come up with creative solutions. We are really clear and transparent about the roadmap, transparent about our vision for our product, so that we do our absolute utmost to make the right decisions for our clients, so that when they go through that process of reviewing, that we still come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, it's two ears, one mouth, right? It's your dad's favourite saying.
Still says it to me.
Well, I mean, it will always be true that if we're not open and honest about what we're doing, we don't have integrity.
No.
So when we have those conversations, and it matters most when people are in that RFP and they are trying to choose a new provider and they're thinking about, okay, this is a big commitment. We want to get it right. We want to make sure we're working with the right people. They've got the right technology. Are there blockers? Are there closed doors that you can't get through? You know, can they show me what they're working on in a development environment? Can they show me designs? Can they show me the roadmap, what their plans are? Is it broken down into achievable, deliverable sort of chunks, if you like? Don't just promise me it's coming and it's going to be here, and it might be here at some point. You know, let's actually think about where it's planned. Can I influence it? I've got this one thing that I really, really need to get done that I can't find anywhere else. Is it possible that you could help? Yes.
One of the key things now, we talk about this a lot with clients, so it's important this question's on here. Which event technology integrations matter most? Now, this is going to be very specific because every organization has different kind of infrastructure. But the ones that we think we're seeing most is like robust CRM integrations. CRM tends to be like the brain, the decision hub of an organization. So us making sure we integrate there does seem to be like the foundation of the integration requirements, but there might be a number of other integrations that will be required, very much dependent upon your infrastructure. What we do is we have a robust public API, we have varied and numerous native integrations, and then we have a dedicated integrations manager to make sure that if we hear new problems or we hear of new integration requirements, we can react to it, scope it, and put it in place quickly.
Help you set it up. Yeah, it's those. Everyone would love, the native integrations is what people would prefer because it's easier to set up. But we do work with lots and lots of companies that actually cannot use a native integration, and they obviously have a team in-house and they want to build using our public API.
Yeah.
We support whatever strategy that you've got internally. We are there to support that.
Good. And how long does it take to implement event technology? Again, this is going to vary project to project because it doesn't matter how intuitive our tech is. If you've got 1,000 events across a year and you've got 50 different departments that are going to be using it, there's going to be a different training onboarding to a client that has 2 or 3 events. Yeah. So there's operationally different kind of strategies. I'd say learning the product, probably a week you can learn the product. I mean, within 2 hours of training, you can learn it to be able to build. But to be someone who can genuinely get a grip to it and to really implement it effectively, I'd say about a week. And then with those big organizations, typically we say about a month to 3 months onboarding for a company who's going to be using it globally across a range of different complex events.
I mean, we do a great job of training people. Like we get great feedback from that team that are doing that, onboarding new clients, helping existing clients. We've obviously got the self-serviced or fully managed sort of routes that you can take. We've got people internally that can just support you the whole time. Or you can, what we see obviously is a lot of people may start with some expert help in-house, but actually they learn it quite quickly and think, I think we've got this now and we can go off and be self-service.
Good. All right, well, lots of questions. And hopefully we've covered off all those event technology questions that we've seen that people are asking. If you have any other questions that you want us to answer on event technology, stick them in the comments, subscribe, and we will be looking at the other kind of keywords, the other questions that you're asking, and we'll cover those different topics. But for now, we will look forward to seeing you next time. Get in touch if you want to find out more.